Okay, I'm live. I tried to make this where it was like turned sideways like this, and every time I do it, it would like lock up on my phone and it wouldn't go back. So I'm gonna close my office door right now. Come over here and turn on the tube on my desktop so I can also see if there is anybody here at all. And if there is not anybody, I will still be here ranting and raving because that's the kind of day it's been. Glasses kind of day. It's not a very good angle of me either. Okay, back to the thing, Amber, back to the thing. Focus. I haven't been focusing at at all really on anything except for just like in an obsessive way over this whole YouTube thing. Um, when I say YouTube thing, I'm talking like specifically about like this channel, uh, because it's in the middle of a rebrand, and you know, the thing about that is, hang on just a second. That means that I am personally in the middle of my own rebrand as a person, because why else would I rebrand my channel if I was still the same as I used to be? I think it's, you know, it's weird when you change, and how the fuck does this work? See, I'm just frustrated today with every single thing. And you know what I want to do is I want to just go, I just want to yell, I want to say, hey, Brian! And have him see if he can come fix it, but, oh, there, I got a warning. Amber Don Lee is live. Well, they're good, that way. Okay, cool. They're good, that way. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. So, you know, today I've just been kind of just like coming really down on myself a lot. And I'm going to wait. I turn this down because it's double time. I've just been coming down on myself. You know, like where you have those days where all you do is you just tell yourself everything bad and, wow, I look tan. Everything bad that you can. You point out every flaw on yourself in the mirror, or every flaw in any of the work that you've done, or any flaw of decisions that you've made in the past, or the way that you've treated people, or anything else. And, you know, I have so many flaws, and I feel like I'm, hi, Raul. Is it Rahul? Did I say that? And you don't have to call me ma'am. I'm not a ma'am. Maybe I could be a miss. I heard my friend Lisa say that yesterday, so I'm stealing that from her, being called Miss instead of Ma'am. Ma'am sounds so grown up. And you know what's so funny is, like, I wonder if I'm going to be 100 years old and I'll still not be grown up. Renata, good morning. How are you? What time is it at where you are? I was just talking about, like, I just feel like so weird today. I'm feeling like, you know, that feeling like where you just feel like you've just sucked the wrong fumes or something. Like, I don't even know. Like, I just feel like I don't know, I felt like I was supposed to be like really, really. Oh, Raul is asking where I live. I live in Los Angeles. And that's another thing, is that living in Los Angeles, it's not the same as like when you live in, say, like in the middle of Texas or New Mexico, where I used to live, or even Colorado or wherever, because in those places, people, they don't have the same kind of ambitions as they people here in LA. Here, people and their ambitions are like the main driving force. It's why most people, it's why they're here. They're artists, they're creating, they're doing music or whatever. And Renata, it's 4 a.m. You must be so tired. Okay, ow. You just woke up. So, hi, you guys. Yeah, why am I scratching my shoulder? See, that's the thing, too. It's like you notice different things about yourself and your life when you start videoing yourself. And I've been noticing so much about myself just in the last like couple of weeks about filming myself and rebranding the channel. It's just making me see a lot of myself. from, you know, videos that I'm like, why did I put that up? Or in other videos, I'm like, Amber, and I'm embarrassed myself that I have those out there. And then I have like all my really bad tag words from the videos, and so I just get really tired and upset about that, and I'm just like comparing myself to everybody else, and I shouldn't be doing that, and I know I shouldn't be doing that, and I know how to not do that, but do I do that? No, I just keep on comparing and feeling like, oh, like I've gone crazy. And I don't think, but I always hear that there's a saying that if you think that you're going crazy, then you're not. But I don't think that's true. I've already um, been crazy. Hi, Devin. How are you? I was just sitting here saying I'm going crazy, going crazy. Like I'm learning all of these things around YouTube with like algorithms and this and that, and I don't even know what this stuff is. It's like I'm like, what the F is an algorithm? And I still don't know. And I watch all these like videos, and then I like reach out to these creators who are like teachers or muses and you know, the professors of YouTube, and they teach everything you want to know about tubing. And I reach out to them, and I'm like trying to like get into the middle to learn, and it's like then I get to that desperate weird mode of a place that I just don't want to be, and I'm like, oh, it just feels so gross, and it just makes it where you just can't create, be you can't be like, I don't know, I don't even know. Basically, I'm just saying I'm pretty lost right now, and I think that's pretty obvious. So yeah, just feeling like I'm definitely, I just feel like I'm just not put together, you know, not put together right. You know, I've said like not. I mean, I don't know. And then I see things like in the packaging of myself that falls apart. You know, as you get older, and living in this town where I live, it's really hard because you're really judged on like the way that you look and the you know, the talents that you have. And the challenge for that too is like I do have, you know, multiple talents as a artist, but that problem with that is that it also comes along with the other things that can come along with being an artist like I am, is that I get deeply depressed. I'm very, you know, deeply compassionate towards people. Then I can turn around like in a snap, and I can just treat people really badly, and then they're like, you know, really hurt, and then I turn around and I'm completely fine again. I'm like, why are you so upset? And they're you know, completely crushed because I would say, you know, horrible things to people. And then I'm like, well, what's wrong? And it's like my emotions go up and down. Yeah. What is my profession? My profession is I'm an actress. And yes, Renata, you can ask me a question too. But I'm an actress, and I make films, and I act in them, and I also do stand-up comedy. And I'm also doing a lot of creating on this channel. So that's what I do for a living. I don't get paid for like YouTubing uh, at all. I'm not doing like brand deals on YouTube or anything like that right now. I've had offers to be able to do them. I don't want to right now, because right now I'm trying to just like figure out and express like who I really am, because I'm trying to like find myself. So like, how can I like sell anything else when I don't even know who I am yet? I'm like in that phase where it's like you know, I haven't been like the stripper on this stage in a long time, but I still hang on to like the sexuality part of myself. And then I'm like, you know, going into the, you know, spiritual side of myself. Then I have like all this weird religious that blocks up. And it's just like I have all these different kinds of like niches. Is that the word? Niches? Niches. Niches. Or, you know, specialties of things that I do, that it just feels like instead of focusing really a whole bunch on one thing, I spread myself really thin, and then I'm doing a little bit of everything. So that's the answer to my profession. I create. That's what I do. I write. I've produced television and then produced movies, and I acted in movies. I've worked as a stylist. Let's see. I just live basically a boho life. What is my favorite scene in your movie Black Tar Road? My favorite scene in the movie is where it says the end. Oh no. Um, okay, my favorite scene. I'm trying to remember. I have not seen the movie in a long time because I saw it way too many times when it was going through, you know, edit hell. Um, okay. You know what? Can you make it more specific? Can you give me an option between three scenes that you like in it, and I'll tell you which one of those three I like the most and why, and I'll talk to you about each of those scenes if you want me to. And for anybody else here who doesn't know what Renata is talking about in the messages, it's a movie that I wrote it and I directed it and I produced it and I starred in it and I financed it. Well, a lot of it and everything else, and I sold it to Amazon, and you can watch it on Amazon Prime for free. And it's called Black Tar Road. In the kitchen. Okay, in the kitchen there was a scene where there are two lovers. There's the girl Charlie, who I played, and then the other girl's, I think, Heather. And we're in the kitchen and we are washing dishes. And I remember filming that scene. We filmed that scene in the house of where Ray Bradbury used to go and do a lot of his writing when he was alive, and it was like with its little writing den. That's a whole other story. But the thing I liked about the kitchen scene was like the shot. There's a shot that I was like really specific about, and it's from behind where there's two women, and they're kind of just like, for everybody else who has not seen the movie, and they're just like, they're standing like this. But what I did is I did a bunch of slits and cuts on the back of the shirt, and then I made it where she was wearing no underwear and just like kind of like a kind of apron thing, and that was like, I was kind of going for like a hysterical kind of a look of like these two women, and it was really important. Yeah, it was really important in the scene for me to show that they were connecting, and the water of them washing dishes. It's like these are two drug addicts in the movie Black Tar Road, and so they're not going to get any of the dishes done, even though Heather is the one that gets off of the drugs and is doing it. It's more of a scene of like a cleansing and like a baptism, I think, and that's why I chose the water, you know, the kind of like the dirty water and the dirty dishes and seeing them from behind. And what was her question? What did she say there? She says like, what your yeah, I mean, I like that scene. The thing that was really hard about that scene, though, is just having to stand in the same spot for a really long time to do the different takes and coming around in the kitchen, and also just having a limited time while we were in that location to shoot with the lighting and with we had crew there with that scene, and it was at the same time we were trying to get other scenes like the up above. Heather and Charlie at the lake. Okay, so that was actually a lake that was in. And if there's anybody else here that does not want to hear about my movie and movie questions, you can certainly pipe in. But while Renata is asking, I'll answer. So the Heather and Charlie at the lake, those scenes, yes, I love those scenes. I think they're very cinematic and very beautiful. And the greatest part about those is that really it was like just the beauty of where we were. We were in Texas. We had flown to, Noelle and I flew to Huntsville, Texas. And the reason that we flew there is because we originally were going to work with a couple of guys there that were going to invest in Black Tar Road, the film. And, the budget had like got big, and then it got smaller. And so it kept changing. And so we flew there to shoot and finish Black Tar Road and just make it into a short film so we could be finished and done with it. And then they were going to reshoot Black Tar Road into a completely new, different movie with a bigger, over $1 million budget. And so we were there shooting scenes in order to make the story complete. And so that was, we were working with another guy there. And, it was really kind of easy to shoot there because we were actually staying at the motel that you see us. Okay, you see there's like shots of like Noelle, who played Heather. She's like walking through like this thing of, there's like some semi trucks, and there's different scenes of just like the walking around, the opening scenes, like those took place at the motel we were actually staying at. So we shot like in the room we were staying at, we shot outside of the room we were staying at, we shot at the lake, which also at that lake it had a really, really cool houseboat that I wanted to fly back and do another movie, but it just wasn't, it wasn't the best experience being there. I also at that time was like, I had just started getting symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, and I didn't know what it was, which is it's an autoimmune disease, which means that like basically my body on the inside is just kind of like attacking it from the outside. Now I'm heavily medicated for it, and so I can move around and stuff, but at that time I had started to like stiffen up, and I was like, couldn't move, and I was also really not very nice to like some of the guys that were working on the film in Texas. I wasn't very nice to them because I thought that they had gone crazy basically, and so it was a kind of a crazy experience. But we also had some fun. There was like out there in Huntsville, Texas, we liked it because of the old crazy bars and stuff, and so that's, if you can get, that's a good way to do independent filmmaking, is you get some of the exterior shots in like the town where you want it to be represented. So we got those in Texas, and then the California stuff is like most of the inside. Ma'am, please, looking hand tattoo, please move. Oh, you want to see my tattoo? This is a palm tree, and it's new. I just got it about, how long has it been? 2 weeks? What's funny is I'm getting a text now on Messenger from my YouTube manager. Does he not know that I'm on live right now? It was his idea. Noelle said you changed the ending of the movie, remember? Oh, I've changed the movie so many times. I was constantly changing everything because the story, actually, it started out when I first wrote it, it was a story that was written for like a man and a woman. And it was, yo, you want me to come to India? I love India. I would love to go to India. That would be a great vacation. So that is also another problem with Black Tar Road. Like, I'm so glad that this movie has touched you and that you love it the way that you do, Renata, and anybody else who's seen it, because it was really, really hard movie to make. A really hard movie to make. But the movie, I feel like it was saved because we had an Academy Award nominated sound guy came in and wrote, I'm gonna also show you this tattoo so you can see this, and fixed all of the sound all the way through the movie. And so the sound in the movie, I feel like it's just extraordinary, and it makes the emotion of the movie and everything really, really nice. Yeah, so I changed a lot of things in the movie as I went, and I won't do that as much in the next movie. Like the next movie, I already started doing that. Like with my next movie, Mockstar, I've started like filming certain things, and then I start going all over the place. I'm just like, I don't pay attention to anything. Am I married? Yes, with Brian. Where is he? Brian! Yes, I don't have any of my rings on right now because I have been like, well, first of all, my wedding ring, it's like a really, it's a beautiful, it's chunky diamonds, and I would bang it on everything, and every time I would bang it on something, then it's just like diamond, then I would lose diamonds. And so now I keep my wedding ring locked up in my safe most of the time, and I usually wear like all of my turquoise and weird other jewelry. There's always some kind of weird jewelry laying around broken too. Like I have the biggest collection of jewelry. Babu. What does babu mean? I don't know what a babu is. Yeah, so that's all with that. Thanks for talking about the movie though. That's all movie that I did, a couple years ago. Now I'm really needing to focus on the new things, and I don't. I get very like, oh, it's Indian language. It's so cool for me, like when I get to like listen to other people talk in different languages. Like I used to live like right by El Paso, and I was getting so good like with my Spanish. I even when Allie, my daughter, who yes, I do have a child. Well, she's not a child, like she's older now, but Allie, I had a live-in housekeeper nanny, and she lived in the house with me. So, and she would take care of Allie, and she did not speak any English at all. And so I had like these little post-it notes like all over everything, kind of like I still do now. Now my post-it notes like give me little, hey, things to do. But back then I had like all the Spanish words like everywhere, like el cielo or something like for the ceiling. It's been so long. La silla, it's like the chair. La puerta, the table. No, I'm probably saying it all wrong now. Basura, trash. I don't know how to say any other words, like, but now, yeah, now my notes say things like sit up straight, be happy, do nice things, or something like that. Don't be a dickhead, Amber, which is my natural instinct. I am not a naturally, like, nice person, I don't think. Sometimes I feel like I am naturally nice, but sometimes I feel like I'm just a jerk. I don't know. And then like today I'm just beating myself up too because I'm thinking like I always say all the wrong things. And then do you ever like say all the wrong things and you turn into like this kind of person or thing that you just don't even want to be, and then you're like that person or thing? Like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the movie. There's a movie here from a long time ago in America. It's called Swingers, and there's this really funny scene where this guy's like leaving messages for the girl, and he'll start to say something, and then he'll like go off on a tangent talking, and then he'll hang it up, and it's just like and then he calls her back, and then the phone cuts off, and then he calls her back again, and then he ends up being like kind of a weirdo by mistake because now he's got all these messages, and he's just like and then she finally is like calls back like do not call me again. And I'm like that kind of person, like where I just say all of the wrong things so often, and then when I say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing like right after, I have like this stinging feeling like, God, Amber, why did you do that? Oh, your son's mother is a Sagittarius also, so you kind of know what you mean in the personality. Oh, Devin, do you know a whole lot about signs? I don't. I do have a book on about like Sagittarius and things like that. I know Scorpios are supposed to be the most wild or something. I don't even know a lot about it, but when it works for me, then I'll read a horoscope. I used to do that a lot. I used to do so many things. Now I'm just in the middle of it. I'm so weird. Now what? I've been watching Sorelle Amour. She is so cool. Like, I mean, she's talking about, she has this video about like, not letting age define her, and she's only like 26 or something, and I'm like, lady, you're so young. Life, that's the thing, is like it just passes so quick. You don't realize it, and that's why it's so important to get out and live it. And I say that, and then you know what I do? I sit here on my butt and do not a thing about it. I do nothing but just sit here and just make notes about how I'm gonna do it. Oh, you sent me a package, and the thing is that your shipment is lost. Oh no, that's too bad. You don't need to send me anything. I I have more things than I could possibly need here. I am trying to get rid of stuff that I have already. I am, like, cause last night, and this is really, I mean, I went out into the garage in the middle of the night so that I could get an ice cream drumstick, because I really needed it at 3 a.m. because there was that voice in my head that said, you need a drumstick. And then I thought to myself, well, there are ghosts out in the garage. I'm not going to the garage. And then, of course, I just like, well, but there was a drumstick in the freezer outside. Brian hides the good ice cream in the freezer outside to try to, like, get me to go through these thoughts. And I have to think twice about being able to eat the drumstick or whatever. Anyway, I went to the garage anyway. And guess what? I opened the door and I'm still half asleep. And I heard, like, this noise. Like this kind of. I was, like, too tired to panic and scream like a normal response. Instead, I was just like, oh, there's something that's alive in here. When I got my drumstick out of the freezer, and then I, like, walked back in and closed the door and went back to sleep. And then this morning, I was talking to Brian about it. I was like, you know, I think that there's something that was alive in the garage. And he's like, yeah, I know. I thought I heard something before. And I'm like, oh, what? So now we're going to completely, like, clear out the entire garage. We are not going to go and kill, if it's like a mouse or a squirrel or a rodent or something. We're not going to kill it. That's ridiculous. People who kill things for no reason are just idiot fucking assholes. Sorry. You just are. If you're killing just because you think that it's a rodent and you should, it's like, no, just trap it and move it back into nature where it goes. It's just trying to, like, live and have a little nest. And if I was a mouse or a rat or a squirrel or a skunk or a raccoon or whatever, then I would want to hide in my garage. It's really badass in there. So, I don't know though. Like, it's scary. And here's another thing though, is like, I got, like, this, like, feeling of, like, if I tell anybody that there was a mouse in my garage, people are going to think I'm poor. And then if they think that I'm poor, they're not going to like me any. And it goes back to all this shame from being a kid and being really poor. And because I equate having mice to being poor, because when we were little and living with the Lithgow family, they had mice. We lived in the White House. There were definitely, I think there were some mice there. And that's just from being poor living and all of that. It wasn't because we were, like, the Lithgows were out in the country and all of that. So it's just, like, completely different. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, because all I'm doing is sitting and worrying about, like, all these, like, algorithms and things like that with my thing. Also, I keep thinking, like, is this a dying channel? I think there was some kind of, like, something happened. I had this viral video and I think it went into India. Rahul, maybe you know what happened, because I got, like, a bunch of fans, like, from India that I don't know where they came from, and then they just went poof and disappeared. So I don't know. This channel is kind of so weird. It's got, like, such an eclectic, weird combination of, like, people. Mostly guys, but nobody's, like, talking. like I don't know. Nobody's, like, really, talking a whole lot on it. So I don't know. I'm gonna go and buy a new journal today. I'm gonna get out of the house. Look, this is my writing thing. I was just, like, sitting here. There's this thing that it's a course, and it's called the Morning Pages, and you're supposed to just, like, write, like, 3 just, like, lines of, like, trailing thought, and that's what I've been doing. Well, let's see what my trailing thoughts were today. Right now, you're sitting outside listening to Spanish radio because you're too lazy and distracted to change the channel. So, I just want to check in. And then I started thinking while I'm writing, I'm like, check in? Like, check in on what? Like, I don't know what to check in on. And then I started thinking of the check in the check box. And then I started thinking about the little boxes and the, like, applications on, like, a driver's license form or something like that because of what Meghan Markle said about like my my mom would be so disappointed and my dad would be disappointed if I didn't, if I picked either box, because she's of both races. And so I drew my own box. And so then I start thinking, if I drew my own box, and then it goes back to what I was even talking about in the first place. See? So it's just like, it's weird. You watch because you can identify with my art and my style. Sorry you're not talkative today. It's raining out and you feel like blah? Well, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. We're talking about text boxes. And your box is the rain is coming down, 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 down. You guys, I'm going to put this up over my head for Devin and pretend it's raining here too. And you know what, Devin, you're feeling blah. Well, guess what? I'm feeling freaking blah too. God, it's not like life is ever easy, and it's... Guess what? My dog is scratching. Scratching. Oh, another thing, I've been talking about cleaning my closet for like, how many days? A week. How many? Who is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 3. We got 3 dogs. Hi, guys. Did you know that I'm doing a live? You want to say hi? Hello. Well, hello. Hello. Hi. This one is Kai, this one is Chanel, and this one is Breaker. Yeah. And there's Athena, which is one more, and she's out there hiding somewhere. But I gave Chanel a deep condition today, and all 3 of the babies, they all have their, they have like these flea pills that they took this morning. Oh, here she comes, Miss America. Last but not least, here she is. Come here, Athena. Hey, Athena, come here. Athena, where are you going? Say hi. Look, say hi. Yeah, what are you doing? Achoo, 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 ah. This is my audience. In my hands, in the palm of my hands, I have you. Look, now she's a palm chi instead of a palm chi. Palm. Oh, wow. Nope, inappropriate, Amber. So, I drew all these paintings like this. Like, they all have, like, this kind of like a vibe of, they have, like, the dancer girls on them. This one is 27. It's my favorite number. It's also the day I was born. What else is on the dollar signs? And then up on the heart up there, it says Itsy Bitsy. And that's for the, it was itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. And then I do the eyes all crooked and weird because back, when in the stage days of doing makeup, it was always ended up crooked and weird and like all over the place. And the blue hairs, because I was always doing a bunch of cocaine, and that song Blue would always come on. That every time I would go over to like the drug dealer's house before I would go to work, that song would come on that goes like this. It's like, I'm blue, da da dee da 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 dee da 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 da. Hey, so Devin, tell me something that's awesome about the rain. That would be a good idea. You can think about positive things together, because it sucks to like just have that feeling of like blahness and just like I think all of us, we just want to like, we all just want to like be enough. We all just want to like connect with each other, I think, right? But then if that was true, then why do I like being by myself so much and being away from everybody else and not participating? I'm like the kind of person, like, I want to be invited to the party for sure. And if you don't invite me, my feelings are going to be really, really, really hurt. How many paintings do I have? Hundreds. I have a lot of paintings, and I have several in the garage. I have several at in family homes and all over the place. Let's see what. Devin says, Blair. Hi, Blair. I have not met you yet. You love the dogs. Thank you. Well, let's show the doggies. Come here, Tina. She said she loves the dogs. Let's show you how amazing and cute you are. Tell them. Tell them. Tell them how sweet and cute you are. You want to? You want to tell them what you did today? Okay, well, here's what we did. We brushed out your tail. We put some conditioner in your hair. We gave you a warm flea pill because you just went swimming and you didn't want to get the other flea stuff washed off, but that other one will come tomorrow. We checked your teeth to make sure there's nothing in them. I am having a very, very, very hard time with the passing of my other dog, Charlie. It breaks my heart beyond. It's so hard. It's like, it's almost like I get afraid sometimes to even talk about it because I don't want to go into such a deep depression over it. I don't want to not talk about her though because I don't want to forget her. It's like a really hard thing. But actually this is like the notebook that I was just looking through and writing through was a notebook that I had written in like days after she had died, because when my dog did die, how I dealt with it was a lot harder, and I took it a lot deeper than I should have, to the point where my husband was like, you can't keep grieving like this. So I was like, I don't care about anything. Everything I've put my energy into the past is insignificant. Materialistic things mean nothing. Life around me has turned gray, and even a nudge from one of my other dogs, it just doesn't faze me. There was never anyone that stayed by my side longer or as consistently as Charlie. So that was just happened to be right here in front of me when you asked that question, Blair. So, and then I have pages of like just missing her, and also says here, I keep checking Facebook throughout the day, and that I'm so sick of my Facebook addiction. Because that's another thing, is like, just like when life happens, like, oh, I couldn't shower. I'm just checking Facebook all day. This is all the stuff I was doing after my dog died. I wanted to also, when Charlie died, I just wanted to go quiet. Oh, you just lost your cat, Libby? Oh, I'm sorry. It's so hard to lose our animals, and it's like, because we love them so much, and those of us who have like that compassion for animals and that can see like just how amazing these little creatures are. I mean, look at that. And you're too sad? Well, look at these guys though. Look at this splat. Look at the boys, they just like splat their legs out. Yeah, I was too sad too. And then my husband, he was like, you have to just stop, because life is, still going on, and I have to like stop crying and being in bed every single day all day because I was missing out on my life with these ones. So what I did is I went and I paid attention, started paying a lot more love and attention to the other dogs, and bonding with them, and realizing that it was my original Charlie dog that taught me how to love pets so deeply. Like maybe Libby had like a bigger purpose of like teaching you some kind of a lesson of compassion, or of something that you can be open to maybe like loving or saving another cat from a rescue or a shelter or something. Cats are like little love bugs, or they're complete like little snobs. How did I go through it? That's what I did. I cried every single day so much. I just cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And I got stoned, and then I cried, and then I cried and got stoned, and then finally I just like, one day you just wake up and then you're not crying, and then the next day you're not crying, and then you just gets like it's a little bit easier and easier each day. But I also think that I kind of have to put up like some kind of like an emotional block to not go there too, because I feel like if I were to like really open up and start thinking about her or to focus in on her or something like that, then I feel like I would um, cry, and then it's a slippery slope. It's like I want to. I always try to like hang on so hard to my mental, to any kind of like mental stability that I can find. And when I go into that deep, deep pit of depression over the loss of my dog, then my mental illness and health also goes into such a deep, dark decline that it becomes dangerous for me. Um, and, you know, there's, you want to get another one, but now you're not sure you're ready yet. And that's exactly how I felt. And the thing is that there, there is the right one that's there, and they're never going to take the place ever of the pet that you had. Libby will never be replaced. Charlie will never be replaced. She's always here. I still have, you know, her ashes are here. As a matter of fact, if you look on my tattoo, you can see there's 5 feathers, and they're for my 5 dogs. And you'll notice I only have 4 here, but the 5th one is Charlie, because she was the first, and she's there's, you know, so the feathers for her. So I also think that you love different animals in different ways, and Libby was obviously really, really special. I think that the best way that you can try to get over it is to just not try to get over it. Don't try to get over it, just try to get through it. And the best way to get through it is just to put that, all of that love and that sadness into the care of some kind of like cat or animal that has been like left behind or fallen through the cracks, or that nobody else wants. Some, like maybe something from like the pound or something. I say the pound is like a meaning like a rescue. I think with the pound for short. The dog pound. Whoa, 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 yippee yo, yippee yay, rah, rah, yippee yo, yippee yay. What? So guess what? I've been talking here for like over 40 minutes, and this little check-in hello call, get to know you, talk live, it's really only supposed to go for 10 minutes. But I feel like I almost like just get going, and then I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. Just can just sit and just talk, right? Isn't it cool that we're having like a conversation, and some of you guys are like halfway around the world, like some in India, some in Lithuania, and some in El Paso. So I'm going to get off the phone, and I'm going to go find something to eat. Oh, look at these cool little things on my, what are they called? Bum. Anyway. Yeah, there was no, hey, you know what? I need you guys to like think of a name of like, what should I name this video? What do you think that we've like mostly talked about here? So that's what we've got to do before I hang up, is like, you guys come up with a name. Like, what should we name this video? Also, can you tell me, if you're here from India, can you tell me like, how did you find me? Because I'm so glad that you did. I just want to know like, how did you guys come to like find me? You know, I don't know. It's great to know people like all over the world though. It's like, how amazing is that? And that's my, see, and I want to be a filmmaker, and I'm like, there's my trash. Oh. Okay, I am going to get off. Think of a name for this. Please like, please subscribe for the Amber Vibe. I will be back here tomorrow at 6 o'clock with nothing specific to talk about. I'm just gonna sit here and talk, and if you have questions, then I would love to answer whatever questions that you have about California, or about my dogs, or about life here. And for those of you who didn't see the movie Black Tar Road that we were talking about today, that's also available on Amazon Prime, and you can look it up and watch it for free. It's called Black Tar Road. And for everybody else, I love you. I think you're awesome. And peace. Talk tomorrow. Bye, 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 bye.